the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag. Hey there, Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns. Just want to comment and say BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for football, baseball, boxing, golf, and much more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. It's your betting show and it's a Wildcard weekend betting show. So we got a lot of good stuff going on here. I'm Marcus Dash, obviously, with my brother Teja Dash, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. JD, how we doing, brother?
What's up, man? Your other brother, JD. What's going on? Yeah, I'm doing well. What's up, Teja?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man?
Doing well.
What's up, man? Y'all ready for this weekend or what?
I am.
Cannot wait.
Yes, I want this week to officially end, and then I could just enjoy all games for 3 days straight.
Okay.
Well, it helps. It's also a holiday weekend too, so you can just enjoy all that.
Yeah. Mark, you look at my little frame back here. You see this?
We had to go to a widescreen to see that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, the live. This is
we're live.
Yeah, this is I got this. It was a nice little present I had gotten. I'm gonna put up downstairs, and so somebody would copy this. It was a autographed picture that I signed, and so they made this incredible poster. I'm gonna put up, and I decided to display it tonight. I'm like, man, I wonder how it's gonna look. So that's my thing over in the background.
Is that life size, JD?
Yeah, life size. And this be against the Jaguars. I don't know who that is. I'm mashing the head down.
You look like Derrick Henry in that photo, man. Throwing down Jacksonville Jaguars as usual.
Yeah. That's me back in my heyday, man. Doing it up. That's a real deal right there.
Is that Donovan Darius?
You know what? I can't tell. No, that's a linebacker.
Oh, okay.
Is that a 5?
Yeah. 50-something.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. Nice little stiff arm. Look, I'm telling you, that stiff arm, man, is something that is mean. I had a mean stiff arm. I don't know if y'all seen the one where there was a video of, who'd I do it to? Against Baltimore. And I caught that joker just right. He came in and I stiff arm, down on the ground. I mean, I put him in like I was driving a nail. And so, yeah, man, yeah. So that was my little addition I put in here to my little cave, if you will.
Oh, I like it. That's bad. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I saw when we went to the vertical view. I was like, "What's that behind him?" I was like, "We gotta go widescreen." Yeah,
man, it looks good. I wonder how it's gonna look on it.
So that's something you signed recently, or is that like something you signed back in the day that someone sent to you?
I signed that. I wouldn't say recently. There was something I signed maybe a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Somebody's like, "Yo, man, I got a present for you. I want you to check this out." And they sent it to him. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is so awesome! That's so cool. Awesome!" Yeah. So I got 2 of them, and there's another one. I have another action photo as well. So
that's
it's gonna be a full display, man. I kind of figured I put it in the background, see what it looks like on the show.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, it's a perfect addition. It's the our playoff edition episode. So I mean, it's a good time to be sporting that behind you.
Yes, it is.
So obviously this weekend, everyone's been talking about the coolest game, one of the coolest games in NFL history, going to be played in Arrowhead Saturday night exclusively on Peacock. So I had to slip that in there.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a cool one. Like I was trying to it's tough because, when you look at these bets, you try to look at these trends, and plus we talked about before, JD, you mentioned this before. It's playoffs, so a lot of these trends and stuff, they're kind of throw them out the window because it's playoffs and everything's elevated, everything's enhanced, so it's very different. So I was trying to do that, and also trying to look at trends as far as the weather, and trying to get different things that kind of to pull out from. And Mahomes is only, so I'll go into when we get to our bets, but Mahomes has only played in 4 games where the temperature was below 18 degrees. So trying to find trends in that's tough in itself, but that's over the span of all of his years starting. And his first ever start was sub 20 degrees.
Sure.
So I'm going all the way back to that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these bets turn out this weekend. But in the winter fashion, I got the little team edition turtleneck, JD.
There you go.
I'm all over it tonight.
Is that the full cotton? Is that the ones that I told you? It's not the stretchy ones. I told you that's the.
Oh, it's cotton.
Oh yeah. There you go. That's the one you need.
This baby, this thing's being soaked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that's the one you really need when it's cold outside. It can't be the little stretchy ones. I told you those things don't do nothing. So that's the ones we used to take the full our official pictures in.
Yeah.
East and yeah. That was it. Those are the ones right there. But so what is the weather supposed to be like? I've heard different things. So what is right now do you see the weather supposed to be?
Teja was just looking at it with as far as what the weather service has. But what I saw was I think -30 is supposed to be as far as
-30.
Feel like
-30.
So the wind chill will make it
right. Real cheer factor, right? Says it feels like -30. Who's out here feeling -30? That's what I'm saying. Like who's like yeah, it feels like -30.
Oh,
what?
Yeah. That's true.
You in Antarctica?
Well, we talked about on the show this week the Seahawks game when all those guys came out and their that day was -10 wind chill.
Really?
That was
wow.
-10 wind chill when they came out like that.
Jeez.
So you're saying it'll feel like, so just not even feel like, but just like flat, it'll be -11.
-11?
So they always say you add probably add about 15. Because the thing is, Saturday's not like horrible, right? Or it's bad. I'm saying that. But Sunday's really bad. So you have the Saturday night going into Sunday is what makes it so cold. Because Sunday's supposed to be, even during the day, just 1.
Oh, my goodness.
Susan's saying wind chill will be -35.
-35. Cold as ice, baby. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, man, I played in a lot of games, a lot of cold games. And I can't even imagine somebody telling me a -35, -25. I think I heard somebody say like, well, how come they can't just move the game? And I'm just like, well, look, first off, there's too much money in it, for one, for the TV.
Yeah.
Number 2, you're trying to take out of the market, what people look at as far as being an advantage. I don't even think that is even an option, to take his game to Miami. I think it's what people were trying to say, like, hey, man, it might be too cold. Why don't you do something with this? Why don't you go to Miami for it? Which I totally disagree. I don't think you need to
lose a home game and to go to the opposite. It's ridiculous.
So maybe this carries on a conversation even more. We need to talk about. So what is the option of having a place where you can go, right? A neutral place to have some of these games when we know it's not going to be there. Okay, and that's making the playoffs. That makes it where either team doesn't have an advantage, right? Should you do that?
You're talking about like what the NBA did with the bubble, like having a bubble like location.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. So, if a team, let's say Atlanta doesn't make it, Miami goes to Atlanta, Kansas City comes to Atlanta, right? But I guess I'm sure the problem goes into the logistics of everybody from the Chiefs coming down to Miami coming up. Nobody wants to go to Atlanta, just go, play a game. You want to do that, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, also the fan aspect too. I know the Arrowhead fans would be pissed off because they feel like they'd earned it because we had the higher record and higher seating and stuff. But I mean, I think it's something honestly, and I'm not to get in the whole climate change aspect, but the extreme weather. I feel like in the coming years that is going to be having something we're going to have to deal with that. Because I mean, this the winter and what Buffalo's getting up there is crazy. They're getting people to come from the town to come help shovel the snow. That's how much snow that they got in Buffalo. Wow. So like the extreme weather, they said, well, this will be something they're gonna have to deal with in Miami with the floods and stuff. As as time goes on, the water level is gonna get higher. So I mean, Miami may not have to be in Miami anymore.
They're gonna play water polo instead, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, an option for that though, as far as having a neutral site place for these games. I mean, it could be a thing with the extreme weather that we're getting.
If you do that, then you won't have teams giving a shit about home field anymore.
That's true.
So it'll be all about getting into the playoffs. And I guess, I mean, seeding to play the more inferior team, but that's it. But, they don't really care about that. They care more about having home.
Yeah. I mean, right? Yeah, they do. They do.
But only one team gets that. So everyone else at that point just going for seeding. But you still get the one home game against that team, right?
Right.
Which, as we see right now, is really important.
Yeah, that is interesting, though, because you think about it like the college football playoff. I mean, it didn't matter that Michigan was a higher seed than Texas in the first round. It was a bowl game, and they played it wherever it was. Or no, Michigan played Alabama, but that was in the Rose Bowl. Neither team was getting a home field advantage regardless of the seeding in there. So it would be more like just getting into the playoff.
Yeah, and I think really it kind of goes into and we know the Chiefs, they'll travel well. We know we have a lot of fans that would be able to come down to, let's say neutral site was, Atlanta or whatever it may be. I think you have a lot of people come down, down that city to go and come hang out, come watch the Chiefs game. So I don't know, man. I think there's a conversation in it, especially when you're talking about now being out there on the field, -35 wind chill, which, man.
The dangerously cold wind chills can cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 10 minutes.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're saying, I think the National Weather Service said for everyone to cover up every part of your body tomorrow. So, you'll probably see a lot of red ski masks out there tomorrow.
I don't even know what number I'd come up with that you'd have to pay me to go to this game.
$30, you wouldn't go to it?
No. I wouldn't even enjoy it.
I know. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's my argument right there. So if you can't really enjoy the game because you're so cold, right? You're putting yourself in harm's way. We're talking about Teja was, what'd you say under 35? You almost have a frostbite being exposed to that type of
that's
weather?
the wind chill advisory warning. That's what they're sending out across
man.
To all the local residents.
So
you can't enjoy that, man.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the tickets go as low as $30 though. That's what it's going for. And the crazy thing about that is, they're going $30, but there's still going to be a line up the wazoo to even get into the building. So you're going to be sitting in traffic to get into this cold ass game you're about to go into. So it's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, you're not going to want to get out of your car anyway.
No.
So the only other option I see is if Kansas City decides to get somewhat like a dome or something, or even something that covers part of the stadium, if you will, and get it like a retractable roof. I think you could do that.
Well, I think Buffalo
not charging $30 a ticket. You won't.
No. But believe me, they made enough money so far to make that happen.
That's true.
Yeah. So,
but you know how pissed they must be, right? Like they're like our playoff game. We're not even going to get. They will make it back with alcohol, though.
Oh yeah,
sales and stuff. Oh yeah,
yeah.
You have to keep warm.
Hot cocoa.
That's your best shot. Is just to get wasted before the game and not even remember it.
$15 hot cocoa. Stadium price hot cocoa. Make it expensive today.
Dude, they don't have to even keep the beer cold. It's going to be it's just sitting there. It'll be freezing.
Yeah. What did you say about Buffalo, Marcus? Would you say
Buffalo because they're gonna have a new stadium whenever a couple of years. But when they did the mock-ups for what the stadium was going to look like, the initial stadium had a retractable roof on it. people in Buffalo were very upset by that. They ended up taking out the retractable roof, and when they made their newest mock-up, they got rid of the retractable roof, which I just feel like in the long run, it's such a headache. I mean, having to call people from that town to come shovel. I mean, it's just such a big headache.
I guarantee that people would love it more than they hate it if it comes up there. They would, without a doubt, be like, hey, look, you know what? Well, then leave part of it open. If you just want to get some of the element, leave part of it open if you want to get just a little bit of that. That's what Noah is saying, Noah Marshall. The new Arrowhead should be a retractable dome. Love Arrowhead, but no renovation. Would be amazing to make KC headquarters for such much stuff. Final Four, BCS, Big 12, everything. No doubt about it. I agree. I agree 100%. If you're in the business of making money, this is a busy, savvy decision. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, well, I guess we'll see the kind of the impact as far as how cold this game is and how many people won't be at this game, because as of right now, there's so many tickets out there that are available. And it's kind of it'll probably be if you don't want to spend a lot of money to go to games to see Mahomes in the playoffs, this will probably be the best option to go do that, because the prices to go see Mahomes in the playoffs have always been so high. Now we're getting $30 ones, and you can go see.
Plus, you can now say, I went to that game, and everyone's going to remember it.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the game that no one wanted to go to? I went to that one.
I went to that one. Yeah, it was me. I was out there. You
were one of the 17 people that stayed the entire time? That's awesome, man. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, there's gonna be a lot of people braving that cold tomorrow night. I think I saw someone comment. Someone was saying how it's cruelty to take anybody to your to this game if you have little ones. And then one of our followers on Twitter, Chief, and he goes, I'm taking my 2 daughters and my 1 son, my 2 like 12 and 8-year-old daughters and my 1 5-year-old son to this game. So yeah, you could shove that up your butt. I think it was someone like kind of lecturing people to not go to the games because it's too cold with your kids.
Okay, I look, as a father, there'll be no way I take my kids out there, especially at that age. Now, if you're teenagers, a little bit different. But if you're 5 and 8, no, stay home with your mother. Stay home, right? Get the hot cocoa for free, okay? Right there on the fireplace. Come watch, see where daddy's at tonight. But there's no way I'm taking them out there. Kids get when kids get miserable, crying or whatnot, you can't enjoy a game either. That's another thing. You can't be able to enjoy the game.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get into our betting props for this week. Hopefully, we have. I think we'll have at least 3 more weeks of this. So we got divisional, we got the championship round, and we got Super Bowl. So 3 more betting shows we got left on the docket.
3 more.
That's more, baby.
That's right.
All right. So we're gonna go to this right here. All right, Teja, floor is yours, my man.
All righty, let's start. So I went Pacheco over 56.5 rushing yards. Interesting. You could also, they have, because they tier it out, like it goes like higher.
Yeah.
The next lowest one's 49.5. That's a very close, like 2 yardage totals.
Wow.
That's weird. That you usually don't see. It's usually like 10 or 15 yards, but 5, 6, it's weird. So Pacheco over 56.5 rushing yards. They have Pacheco carrying the ball 16.5 times. The last 10 games, he's had at least 15 carries. The lowest total he's had is 55. Miami being one of those teams, he went for, I believe, 66 in that game. So
how many carries?
I think he had 15. All of them. Like he had at least 15. So he had 15 or 16 in that game.
All right,
I believe. Mahomes over 19.5 rushing yards. So I don't have a lot of stats to back this up. This is just a pure weather is hell, and they have a high line for this game already. I think they anticipate him having to run the ball just to get first tough yards and get first downs. They have him at 4.5 attempts. So if he gets 5 carries, then we're talking about 5, a little over 5 a carry, which, you just need one of those Mahomes breakaway runs, which he gets a fair amount just to get this. If he has one like 10 to 15 yard breakaway, then he just needs like 3 or 4 yards per carry the rest of the way. And I think that's very doable. He had 24 yards against Miami last time around. Chiefs minus 2.5. So I think this game will be closer than a lot of people are predicting. I think it'll be so low scoring that a field goal victory seems likely. Not a lot of stats to go on here other than I just think the Chiefs will win, and I want more than the money line is willing to give me for it. So I think it'll be around that. I think it'll be a 4-point victory, but we'll get to that one a little later. So Rice, 40+ receiving yards. I think this will be a running game, as I've obviously already stated with the Pacheco and Mahomes over-unders, but Rice is the next best thing to a run play. He gets these quick passes. They rely on his yak like they did during the season. They have him catching 6.5 passes. So let's just say 6-7. To get 40 yards, he needs about 6-7 yards each catch. That is well below his average for the season. I think that's easy for him. I bought yards on this. I think his over-under is, I think, in like the 50s or 60s, Marcus. Is that right?
For Rice?
Yeah, it's like flat.
Yeah, I think it was like 63.5
yeah,
or something like
so
that.
this is like, this is a bought down line. So I'm being pretty conservative and cautious with that one. Total under 55.5. Speaking of cautious. So this has everything to do with the weather. Last time we played Miami, both teams were healthier and the weather was better, and the total was 35, and that was with a fumble for a touchdown. So my score prediction is 24-20. And I think the Chiefs stop the Dolphins on the final drive, either with a pick or just a 4 and out. I like the 11 points as a buffer just in case there is another wacky fumble for a touchdown. So I'm going to go under 55.5.
What would the next be after 55.5?
It only goes as high as I think 56, I believe, or 57.
So under that, so if I did under 55.5, what would it be?
What do you mean, the juice on it?
Yeah. Total points. So if I said, hey, look, instead of doing the conservative 55.5, right, you got the 11 buffer.
Well, okay, so with spreads and over-unders, JD, you can kind of pick the exact line you want.
Okay.
Whereas with like alternate lines for yardage, not touchdowns, yardage, like receiving yards, rushing yards, passing yards, they like tier them out for you predetermined.
Okay.
Based on like a numbers like 30, 45, 60. But with over-unders and spreads, you can kind of pick exactly. So if you have an exact score you want and you want to add like 3 points to that, you can do that, which is what I usually do for the most part. I like a total score, what I think it's going to be. And then I'm like, all right, let me add about, a field goal to that.
Right.
Usually what I do. This one's even bigger. Like I said, I think the total is going to be 44, but I'm going over by, a little over 10 points just for a touchdown and a field goal in there.
Okay. All right.
And that's 25 to win $94. So very conservative this week.
Very conservative.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm trying to pay for a mid-level ticket to this game. All right.
I got you. I tell you what, man. I like the first one, obviously. Pacheco over 56.5 rushing yards. I think we feed him. I think we just have to feed him, and hopefully he's going to break out for maybe 2 or 3. But I do believe this week we're going to see a lot of 8 in the box. I think we're going to see a lot of 8 in the box. So they're almost going to force you to throw the football in a sense to try to get vertical on them. So you may have to do a little bit of that early in the game, try to open it up. Like even with that 8 in the box, if you're running like trips and you still run that screen, wide receiver screen, or if you're also having a running back screen, I think they're looking to snip that out. I think it's what they're going to be playing. I would, me personally, if I'm a defense coordinator, I'm playing screens and Pacheco probably in the B or C gap. That's what I'm looking for. Straight down the hill. Straight downhill. He's going to be a downhill runner this week. I would just straight downhill. But I do see 56.5 rushing yards. If we get up to the second level, we'll be fine. I think you'll hit that. It's going to all just it's all predicated off what type of fits we're going to get up front. Okay. And we know that we've seen, a couple of other new guys come in, right? We've seen, Melvin Gordon, Ingram. I'm sorry. I kept saying Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston. And sometimes you just got to run at those guys. But I do see us getting over 56.5 rushing. Now the Mahomes over 19.5 rushing yards. That was the one that is the tough one for me. For the simple fact, they're going to give 8 in the box. So, like I said, they're going to dare us to throw the football. Have a spy on Patrick. Don't let him get out. Don't let him get loose. So if Pacheco's not making it with his runs, with his legs, Patrick's going to be the one. And so I put a spy on Patrick, make sure that he won't try to get out of the box anywhere and make his yards. But that 19.5 is not a hard one. It's not hard to do.
The next one below that, 16.5.
16.5? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think he'll definitely hit that at 19, and it needs to get 20 or more. So it's not a bad bet. That's the only one that kind of sticks out to me on that one. Chiefs, negative 2.5. I think we hit that. Man, what did
Better hope we hit that.
yeah.
Might lose if we don't hit that.
I think I had 24-17 was my bet. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. 24-17. So I think
we're pretty close to our total scores then.
Yeah, what you said 24-20, right?
420.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we definitely win at least by that. Rice 40+ receiving yards. Now, this is the one, because they are going to force us to throw the football. This is the guy we got to go to. I think some of the couple of those back shoulder throws, maybe going over the top, Rice is going to be that guy to do it. And so you got to get him out of that. Okay, well, look, if we decide to run a wide receiver screen, and this is how I would do it: fake the wide receiver screen and run a guy deep. The guy that's supposed to be blocking, he's got the point of attack. That's what I would do. So fake, pump, fake, hit the guy deep. That works every time. Because we run a lot of screens, I think that wrinkle in what we do would help. And Rice can be that guy. Rice can definitely be that guy. But we know, man, he's fire when he got the ball in his hands. He'll definitely get 40+ receiving yards. He's the one that's going to be lighting up the field, man. He's going to heat the field up. That's what's true. So that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for that.
He's a little missile when he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. And guys they ain't going to want to tackle him.
No, he's a low.
Oh, yes, he is. Oh, my gosh. It was funny because when I was at the coaching convention, I met, oh, my gosh, I forgot where she works in the office at SMU. So I'm just like, I was asking about Rashee Rice. And so she's like, oh, yeah, Rice, that's my guy. And she was just talking about him. She was just saying like how talented he is. They always known that. But so she's rooting for him. She's rooting for him this week.
That's cool.
And just kind of talking about it. Yeah. So total points 55.5. I do believe it's going to be under that. It's not going to be, a high scoring game whatsoever. I don't believe that. So that's a really safe bet. 55.5 points under. But it's going to be a ground game, man. That's how it's going to. That's what the win's going to come. Who's going to have a better ground game? That's what it's going to boil down to.
And you got to figure with Pacheco's 56.5 with what they projected him to get for carries, like 16.5. He just has to average 3.5 a carry. So even if they do stack the box and it's a grind, 3.5 is pretty. 3.5 a carry is pretty reasonable.
Oh man,
it also comes down to who's more talented up front, because they're beat up bad up front and we're pretty healthy up front. So if we can't dominate them at the point of attack, we got serious problems. That's another problem in itself.
Unless they sell out for the run, though, which I feel like they're going to sell out for the run tomorrow. I mean, our passing game is not really scary. And they do know in this cold weather we are going to want to establish the run, just try to make us in passing situations all game long.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem with that, is because when you have 8 in the box, they outnumber us in certain areas. And so if you're thinking you got your 5-7 guys blocking pretty much, so that's 2 tight ends, the linemen, 2 tight ends, Pacheco's got to make that other guy miss. That's what you're paying for.
Yep.
So,
but if you're predicting 24-17, you obviously were going to move the ball and score against them. So I would assume at that point, Mahomes does like dink and dunk them, and they will have to pull back those 8 guys in the box at some point and try to protect the pass. Because if that's how we're moving the ball, then they're going to have to readjust that 8 in the box defense at some point, right?
You're going to have to. But also too, if they decide But look, if our guys can go one-on-one on the outside, so be it. Okay. If you want to beat our guys, beat them. We don't know if you got somebody on the other side that's going to be able to beat our Joes on our side, right? Because it comes down to players. And so is Jalen Ramsey, he's better than Rasheed Rice and MVS. I don't know, but I just different guys. Okay, I'm just saying.
Well, it's like Herm always say, you get 1-on-1, you gotta win.
That's how it is. That's the work. That's the work. That's how it works, man. So I think we have to take the shots. The shots are there, take them. And our guys just got to win. They just got to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I like the bet. Pretty good bets, man. Pretty good bets.
I mean, 25 to win 94. I hope they're pretty good.
Yeah, you ought to win. This ought to be an easy. Yeah, 94.
Hey, hold on. That's still 4 times your money, guys. I mean, like that's not. I know it's not a 25 to win your mortgage, but like 4 times your money.
No, but you're getting the 25 back though. So really, it's 25 to win 60 or 71,
70. Yeah,
69, right?
What is 75? Yeah, 69.
Three times, almost 3 times your money. Then
that's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. Most people just do bets that win you like double your money. Most people.
Yeah, we're trying to have fun with it. We're trying to break.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun. Winning is fun.
I know.
Now, Teja, I would have to play with that 55.5 points. That's the one I think I would play with. If anything, I would play trying to making more money by doing the total points. You know what I mean?
Maybe going lower than that.
Yeah.
I would go. Yeah, I would do like. I'd probably do. If I want to play it a little safer, I'd say like I kicked around in my head, like give it one more touchdown,
like 50.
Let's say it's like I was thinking worst case scenario, like 31-24, right? There's no way in hell they go above that. That was my like worst case scenario, which is what I did. I did the worst case scenario. I see the worst case scenario is 31-24, 55 points. That's it, right? But anything lower than that, I mean, yeah, you do 28-24, 52. So, like, you can start playing with it like, in that regard.
Yeah. So, my total points at 41. So, if I'm saying 41, if I give another, like, field goal, somebody else get a field goal on it, then, like you said, 24-20, right?
Yeah.
It's not
even
a
touchdown, right? You said 20. What did you say, 20?
So mine is 24-17. That's
41. I would add, like, a touchdown and go 48.5. Under 48.5. Which would be pretty good. I mean, it's a lot. Get a lot better than that. So 48.5 would be 48.5 would be minus 211 in juice. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Teja, what's 41? What if he did that? Because in that case, he'd be selling points actually if he did.
Well, you want to go 41.5, right?
Yeah, 41.5. Yeah, he'd be selling
41.5 be plus 112.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
At that point, hold on. At that point, you may as well just, you can bet the exact final score, right, JD?
No.
If you bet the exact final score, it's like a lot of money.
Okay.
It's like a lottery.
What's the juice on 24-17? If you can do that real quickly.
The exact score?
Yeah, exact score, bet.
Let me see.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do this during March Madness, like the championship game.
I do for the Super Bowls and stuff. When
yeah,
I was very close. I think I actually got it, but it was reversed. Scoring, what the hell?
Yeah, exact scores are fun bets to do to reflect the.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it probably wouldn't have to take a whole lot of money either. Just on the, like, hey, sure, I'm throwing, $5 bucks on it, 20, 20, whatever, right?
Yeah.
T scores, quick hits, pass props.
Do they not have that bet?
Should game props?
I know FanDuel usually has the exact score bet.
Yeah, it totally should. I mean, hold on. Scoring both halves. No, I don't see it yet. Hold on. Let me try this last one.
I will say while Teja's doing that, so I looked at the 4 games where Mahomes has played in sub 18-degree weather. All those games, the wind chill is below 10 degrees. You found it?
Correct score. Okay. What was yours again?
24-17.
24-17.
24-17 plus 5,500.
Wow. So tell him what 25 would win him, Teja, so he knows.
1,400.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot. Hey.
That's a fun lotto ticket.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
You know what? Take your 5. If you take your 5 favorite scores, right? There's data to back that up. You do like $10 on each one of those.
Yeah.
You get one of those, you are well paid off all your bets.
Right.
Set.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did I say? 2420. Let's see what that is. 2420. Can we find it? Okay. Wow. 2420. 6,500. Wow.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting because the line's 44. So why would it be? That's weird.
And it's a 4-point spread.
That's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
What's 27 to 10?
The lowest odds, so their most probable score is 20 to 17.
Most probable?
That's their most probable score.
It's close to what it was in Germany. So
I know, but A, that's not the spread currently, and B, that's not even the closest one to the total points it has.
Yeah,
that's weird. Really weird.
Yeah. Just to add more info for the total point stuff. So in the 4 games Mahomes has played in sub 20 degree weather, the wind chill in all those games was 7 degrees, 7 degrees, 1 degree wind chill, and negative 10 degrees wind chill. So 55.5 for Teja, your spread here. So his first game in 2017, the Chiefs won 27-24, so 51 points. So that was under the 55. Second game was in 2020 AFC Championship game against Tennessee Titans. Chiefs won 35-24, over 55.5. The next game was against Denver. It was at Denver in 2020. Chiefs won 43-16, so over 55.5. And the last time we played in sub 20 degree weather was last year against Seattle at home. That was negative 10 wind chill. Chiefs won that game 24-10, so that was under. So it's 2-2, the under there, against 55.5. So that's added nuggets. All right. So Tej and I had some similar ones. So when I looked at his, I was very surprised because usually him and I are very opposite when it comes to our bets. But
I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but
yeah. I love to see our numbers actually. When you and I have similar bets on those.
That's
exact
a good
bets.
stat in itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one I have is Pacheco, 70+ yards rushing. I think we're gonna have a big Pacheco game, kind of what Teja said. Look at the last 5 games. Pacheco's exceeded 70 yards rushing 3 times in the last 5 games. So a good trend there. And looking at the same trend, last 3 games for Miami Dolphins, they've allowed an average of 128 yards rushing, 118 yards on the road. So that's on the season, 118 yards on the road they've allowed as far as rushing. So they're not the best. I think they're bottom 10 in the league as far as rushing yards allowed. So they're not the best rushing defense by any means. And I do think we're just going to give the ball to Pacheco. I think it's going to be a Pacheco game. We talked about on the show this week. I think it's going to be one of those games where we remember this game being the Pacheco game, that Cole game where Pacheco dominated. I think this is going to be a big one, a big spot for him. So yeah, I'm going Pacheco there. I did 70 yards. So I sold some points there. So I did a little bit of so I did what Teja did, but I just think he's gonna have a better game than that. Cause I think his actual line is like 63.5 yards rushing. So I did a little bit more than what his actual line was. Just cause I think he's gonna have a big game. Next one, I have Mahomes over 23.5 yards rushing here. He's exceeded this 2 times over his last 5 games. So it's not, not the best trend. But last time he played them, he had over 24 yards rushing. So he's like right on the nose the last time he played the Miami Dolphins for 24 yards rushing. I looked at their last 5 games with quarterbacks. They've allowed, I will say, a little different of tier as far as rushing quarterbacks. Last 5 games, they've allowed their quarterbacks that have over this number 3 times. Josh Allen had 67 yards. Lamar Jackson had 35 yards. And Dak Prescott had 25 yards. I would say Mahomes and Dak are more alike as far as the rushing quarterback.
Did you look at their attempts or no?
I did not.
Okay,
I did not.
I'm just curious.
But yeah, so and the other 2 quarterbacks they went against was Will Levis, who had like 10 yards rushing, and Zach Wilson, I believe, was the quarterback in that game. It was one of the Jets quarterbacks who had 0 yards rushing in that game. I mean, I don't know. Take your pick as to which one that was. Trevor Siemian, Zach Wilson. Yeah. So, yeah, I just think, and generally playoff time, we've seen Mahomes over the last few weeks where, like, when nothing was going on offense, he was doing it himself, taking hits, which we don't like to see. But I feel like it's playoff time. He's going to will us to victory. And if it's not going on offense, he's going to do it himself. And I do think that we saw him in the playoff in the Super Bowl, where, you know, a guy was playing on one ankle at 44 yards rushing in that game. So I think when it comes to critical moments in the playoff games where we need it, I think Mahomes will put the team on his back and give us a couple yards, 23.5 yards. Not asking for the moon here, but I mean, he's done it twice over the last 5 games. So, I mean, it's doable. So yeah, and I believe his rushing yards was 29.5, I believe, to start the week out. It's gone down a little bit because a lot of betting experts are saying to take the under in that. But for me, when I saw that, I'm like, wait, 29.5 yards rushing, that's a lot for Mahomes to set the number at. So I was like, that's a weird number to set it at. But since then, people are kind of hammering the under on that. So now I believe the over under for his rushing now is 26.5. So that's what it is now. But I have it at 23.5. Okay, here. So Mahomes over 282.5 yards passing and rushing.
It's 25.5 now, by the way.
25.5, so it's gone
down.
down.
It's going down by the minute.
Interesting. So I have a pass and rush yards. So the beauty about this is, since we already have his over in the rushing yards, 23.5, this will coincide with his passing yards. So if he has a big day rushing the ball, that's great. We don't need that many passing yards. So I looked at his in looking the 4 games where we're 4-0 in the sub 20-degree weather. I looked at this and saw that he's exceeded 282.5 pass rush yards twice in those 4 games. So he's 2-2 in exceeding that. In his first ever game was that Denver game. He had 284 yards passing and 10 yards rushing, so that would have equaled more than 282.5 yards. In the AFC Championship game against the Tennessee Titans, he had 294 yards passing and 53 yards rushing in that game.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, he's done it in this cold weather, but that was his biggest rushing total by a long shot in that. And the other 2 games, he had 200 yards passing, 0 yards rushing, and 224 yards passing, 8 yards rushing. So, yeah, so there's kind of a big fall off there. But yeah, like I said, I think he's gonna have a big game rushing the ball because I think he's gonna will us to victory tomorrow. And I do think that he will pass this number, but it'll be very narrow margin. We're going to be going down to the last end of this game for him to get those yards there. So that's the one I'm like not the most excited about in this one. So then we go to Chiefs over 23.5 points. So you watched our show this week. I had the Chiefs winning 27-10 in that game. So looking at our numbers here, so we've exceeded this number 6 times this year. And yeah, we were wait, that's a different number here. Yeah, I think that's all I have for this. Yeah, okay, yeah. So six times we've done this, exceeded 23.5, and all 4 of the games that we played in this sub 20-degree weather, Mahomes has exceeded 23.5 points. So we put up points, yes, not the same exact teams that he's had in the past, but every game, 24 points, 43 points, 35 points, 27 points. Even in these cold tundra games, Mahomes is still putting up over 23.5 points. So, you know, that's the only like trend I could find in this cold weather stuff was that. And then the last one, Miami under 20.5 points. Yeah, so Miami has 6 times this year they've had below the 20.5 points on the season, and 5 of those games came on the road. And then even taking a deeper dive just to see what I think is going to happen in this game. I mean, we talked about on the show this week, Tua, first playoff game. It's the guy's from Hawaii. The guy played in Alabama. The guy plays in Miami. The guy's not used to this cold weather. And then just in those games, 0-4. So Mahomes is 4-0 in these below 20 games. Tua is 0-4 in below 45 games. I didn't even look to see below 20. I just looked at all below 45. I'm like, geez, 0-4. And in those games, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions with a 55% completion percentage. So it's not looking good as far as what Tua has done in these really cold games. So yeah, I'm going with that. So that's 25 to win $225 right there. So there you go. That's a fun one.
Yeah, you like that? That's a much bigger little bonus there.
Yeah.
And by the way, your total scores 24-20.
Yeah, well, the score I want is I have it at 27-10, but I was like, I don't have the balls to have to go under 10 points for or under 11 points for the Miami. So I bought a few extra points. So JD, what do you think?
Oh man, okay. So Pacheco 70+ rushing yards. Like I said, it's going to be predicated off giving the ball to him the entire game. I do believe that he will have 70+ rushing yards. I think I like Teja's 56.5 rushing yards. I think that was doable. So I do believe 70 is going to be right up there where he's going to have it. As long as we keep feeding him, I think we just need to do that. Do it in the red zone too. So if we decide to do it, any of them decide to get out of their tendency, a first down, run the football, run it again. Matter of fact, do something that nobody thinks you're going to do, Andy. Run the ball, right? Yeah. So if we do that, man, he'll be fine. He'll get over 70+ rushing yards. Mahomes over 23.5 rushing yards. Now, I told you I didn't like Teja's at 19. Golly, 19.5. So this one right here, man, Mahomes 23.5 rushing yards. Oh, man, that's a tough one. But it's not a bad bet because he could get 23.5 rushing yards. I don't like it as much just because I know they're probably going to spy him. I think it's what they're going to have to do. For you to be effective against Mahomes, you can't let him beat it with your legs, right? Let him beat it with your arm. And so and that's not him saying he can't throw the football. It's the guys catching the ball for him is what they're probably, banking on. Them not doing. But I do like the third one, man. Mahomes over 28.5 passing yards and rushing. I do like that. I do think that will happen. And I think we're going to see some surprise in yards in receivings and receptions, passing. So 28.2.5, I do like that bet. I like that one a lot. Chiefs over 23.5 points. I have them at 24. I do think they'll do that at least. We talked about it, Marcus. We said, look, you get 3 touchdowns and a field goal. That's what you're looking for. And I think we do achieve that this weekend. So hopefully they just build on what they did the last game of the season, right? We're going to have McCole Hardman out there and, Richie James, Justin Watson probably catch a couple balls here and there. Rasheed Rice is going to get off. So I do see the 23.5. I think that's doable. Miami under 20.5 points. And I have them at 17. So that's a good bet to me. I do like that one as well. And so that bet, $25 to win, $225. Man, you got the moxie, man. You putting it out there, huh? Yeah, you trying to win. You trying to get a little money putting in your pocket. Okay.
I got that Baker Monday Night Moxie, dude.
Yeah, I see. Oh, Baker. Hope you ain't putting no money on him. Shoot, but I don't know. Yeah,
he's going to be. He needs to make that money back, and he's going to be putting on Baker on this bet.
You're right. No kidding.
AJ Brown took all his Eagles affiliation off his social medias today, so something's going on in that line.
He also didn't go to practice, right?
Well, I mean, he didn't go to practice, or he just didn't practice? That's a big difference.
I
knew he has been practicing.
And so he has been, or he hasn't been?
He hasn't been because of his knee injury.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If he's saying he didn't show up to practice, that's a different story altogether.
Maybe I'm just saying the worst part. Yeah, maybe he did. He just didn't practice. Maybe.
Okay.
That's full blown mutiny right there. If he don't go to practice, like,
that's
so he's done with the season. It's like, so that bet $25 to win $225. Okay, I think it's a strong bet. If you hit, man, you're gonna hit. I think that's the way to go.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Now, practically speaking about these bets, and I'm looking at them right here. I do like Pacheco 56.5 rushing yards, Mahomes over 19.5. I thought that was a little bit high, but it is less than Marcus 23.5.
Imagine if he hits mine and not yours. That's terrible.
No.
Probably will happen too.
But I think everything over on Teja's side, man, seems pretty conservative. I mean, it is. Everything is pretty conservative, man. If you miss out on this one, Teja, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just, geez, it'd be hard to see.
Yeah.
But I do like Marcus stretching it out a little bit, man. Having some faith in your team and what guys are going to do out there. is the weather going to cooperate with you? That's the question. And so how they're going to play us defensively is another issue and question. So if you're looking to stop the run, I think, man, that you're taking a gamble on the 70+ on rushing yards and 23.5 rushing yards from Mahomes is the big one. So with that being said, I like Teja's bet a little bit better than yours. Okay. So I would switch some things up on Teja's that I'm now like once I start finding out that you could change your, the point total and however you want it, I would be a little bit more
making it 47.5 would probably get that up to like
110,
105, 110, 105, 110.
Yeah. So I would probably do that. I would definitely do that. I like that more. And then I probably maybe play with the Chiefs 2.5 too. I might play with that a little bit as well.
What, a higher number?
Yeah. I mean, it's a field goal, right? We'll be talking field goal. But I think the Chiefs are going to beat them by at least a touchdown. Do I think the defense is going to shut these guys down? Look, our chain is playing. Tyreek Hill's playing, right? We say this is what they're going to do before the game. They're going to keep playing with guys, but they're not going to have Waddle. I don't think Waddle's going to be 100%. Yeah. So
even if he is, man, if you're not 100% and you're not practicing that much, you take a hit in -30.
Oh, man.
Ooh, boy.
You ready to lay down?
Not the weekend practice, man.
Yeah. Hey, get me out of here, coach. Please, get me out of here.
And honestly, I mean, being Chief fans, we know this because we watched him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hill had a propensity to have tightened muscles and cramps. What, -30?
-30, yeah.
Ooh, boy.
And he's been getting banged up a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been coming off the field limping almost after every single catch. So it's like, that happens in nice weather. How much do you multiply those hits in -30?
I think if there's a game that he'll toughen it out, this will be the one. I think that this will be the one, right? I mean, we got the bragging rights so far on Hill, but this would give him some of that talking points, the bragging rights, if he beats us in the playoffs and sends us home. So I think he'll do everything he has to do to keep this thing warm, keep everything loose. He'll get the heat on it. He'll get acupuncture. He's going to get a whole lot of different things, man, to make sure he's getting ready for this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they'll be keeping an eye on it. Masseuse and everybody's probably making sure that he's going to be fine. He needs to be 100% playing the Chiefs. So we're going to get his best tomorrow, man. We're going to get his best tomorrow.
So obviously, we're kind of nearing the end of the show here, but it's a betting show and it's Wildcard weekend, so we're gonna have fun with this one. We're gonna go game by game for all the games this weekend, so we can just. I won't do spreads. We can do spreads if we want to, but you want to go spreads? You may just go
game by game. Probably
game by game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So first game, we kick off Wildcard weekend. Cleveland Browns traveling to Houston. Joe Flacco, old man Joe, is I don't know. He's revitalized his Cleveland Browns team second half of the season. Everyone thought, this guy came off his couch and look at him doing big things. So Browns traveling to Houston. CJ Stroud, the young gun, taking him on in that first game of the day, Saturday at 4:30. Who you guys have? Browns, Houston.
Man, I think Houston's a very dangerous team. I actually like them a whole lot. And so I think DeMarco's gotten playing at a high level. I think CJ Stroud, man, he's a great quarterback, great leader. They got some good receivers. So I'm gonna go with Houston. I'm gonna go Houston with this game.
I'm going Cleveland.
Huh? You going Cleveland? Okay.
I got the Browns.
So JD, of the just looking at the spreads, Cleveland and Philly are the only two road teams that are the favorites this week. So Philly at Tampa and then Cleveland at Houston. Both road teams favor. The only two road teams that are favorites this week. I'm going Cleveland. I think it's just it's part of the script that Joe Flacco has to travel to Baltimore to face his former team. And I don't know if he's going to win next week, but I think Flacco, it's the story right now. It's the story of the NFL right now. It's Joe Flacco. And I think the young guy, I think Texans, They won last week, and that was like a Super Bowl for them to even get into the playoffs, to even win their division and do what they did to the Colts on Saturday night. I think it's just kind of a whirlwind. It's kind of like when Oakland or when Vegas beat us on Christmas Day. What happened the following week? They got spanked by Indianapolis. Very similar kind of thing with this one. I don't think they're going to spank them, but I think Cleveland wins that first game tomorrow. And that's on NBC 4:30 tomorrow. So we got Chiefs Dolphins. We know where we're all going with that one, so we're just going to skip that because we've all spent a whole week on.
I changed my pick. I'm going Miami. No, I'm kidding.
And that's at 8:15 tomorrow night, Peacock. For those of you who want alternative options, just go to our episode this week. I gave you an alternative spot to watch the game. And then so that's Sunday 1:00. Pittsburgh travels to Buffalo in that blizzard of a game that should be 60-mile-per-hour winds, just awful. Steelers are a 9-point underdog in that game, and there was a interesting inactives today. Gabe Davis out with the PCL sprain, and their safety who had a game-winning pick last week against Miami, I forgot his name. Taylor Rapp. He's out for the game also on Sunday. TJ Watt's out as well. But I think there's we got upset potential in this one, JD. JD, I'm going to go Buffalo to win this game, but I would not be surprised if Pittsburgh wins.
Me too. I think Buffalo's going to win this game, man. Josh Allen, those guys are playing pretty good at this moment. Starting to get Diggs, involved a little bit more. But also too, man, with Gabe Davis being out, I think they got Shakur. He's a guy, man, that I keep bringing this up. I wanted him to be here. I wanted him to be a Chief when he was coming out. I think he's a very talented receiver, man. So he's been showing it. And the running game's been looking well. And still got the young tight ends. So they I think Buffalo, man, beats Pittsburgh pretty easy, at least by 2 touchdowns this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the lowest total points game for the weekend. That opened up at 44. Immediately when it opened up, it dropped like 4 points, and now it's at 33.5 total points for that game. 33.5.
I can see it. I can see that. Because I don't believe in any quarterback that Pittsburgh has at all. Not at all.
You're not Rudolph the reindeer. Not a fan.
No, and Najee's been up and down. All that's so
he's been more up lately since they changed offensive coordinators.
He's trending up.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why that would make a difference. If you're getting like almost the same amount of carries, why do you run better with a new coordinator? Like, I don't know. Buffalo. I think it's pretty easy. It's
Buffalo. All right. So that 4:30, this is an interesting one. Dallas hosts Green Bay in the Mike McCarthy Classic. Dallas is a 7-point favorite. Also, interesting nugget about this game. There's rumors that Mike McCarthy could lose his job if they don't beat Green Bay in this game. And that's apparently one of the spots that Bill Belichick is silently looking into. That's what apparently the rumors that everyone's talking about. It's Philly and Dallas are the 2 teams that Belichick could go to that aren't available right now.
That's crazy. I couldn't see him at either one of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
Wherever he goes, it's gonna be.
Oh
yeah,
it's
gonna be a weird look.
Right. Yeah, it's not gonna look right.
We know Jerry Jones loves wielding the power and trying to relinquish that to Belichick. No way.
Or the other way.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. No way.
Mm-mm.
No way. Unless Jerry's like, look, I'm getting older. I can't keep like being the GM, owner, coach, everything. I need you to like complete this for me and like do that. But his ego's way too big for that. He's not doing that. So forget about it.
Right. Mm-mm.
And Bill would probably rather retire than agree to a bad deal with Jerry. So
absolutely. 100%.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So are we all unanimous Dallas in this one?
Yeah. I think Green Bay gives them a good game though. I think they give them a good game, but I think, man, what we've been seeing Lamb do, shoot, this sucker's being explosive. Them jokers, man, Lamb's been getting open all year. He's just been cooking defenses, man. Seriously, I haven't seen anybody cover this guy. Not at all. So
When are they going to readjust teams? Because, I mean, I'm like, why aren't you doubling him at this point? It was like his 15th catch of the game.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That joker's good, man.
Dak's not going to beat you by throwing to Cooks and Ferguson all game. Like, double Lamb.
Right.
Just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I traded Lamb in my my keeper league, keeper fantasy league.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a haul for it, though.
I got a lot.
Oh, did you? I was going, okay, who'd you get? I was going to say,
I got Tyreek, Brees Hall, and Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, that's good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next game, it's another reunion game. We have Matt Stafford and the Rams traveling to Detroit. For the first time, Matt Stafford will be going against his old squad, the Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by 3 points in this game. JD, who do you got?
Oh, man. That's going to be a good game right there. I have Detroit in this game. Even though the Rams got weapons, I think defensively, man, there's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes. Just, from second level to third level, I've seen them just get lost. The secondary get lost in a lot of different ways. And Detroit, man, these guys are ready. I think they'll make it past the first round, but then you get a little tough for the second round. For the first round, I think they'll definitely handle the Rams on this one for sure. So
I have Rams winning this one. I think the Stafford. I think McVay knows Goff. I think they have a good game plan for Goff, ready to go in this game. I think Stafford's going to come to town and do his thing. Like second half of the season, I think he's the number one quarterback. It has a number one quarterback QBR second half of the season. I believe he's leading passing yards or passing touchdowns. It was one of the stats second half of the season. So Stafford's on a good trajectory right now, and with Puka and Kupp healthy and Kyron Williams doing this thing out of the backfield, I think that's a lot of offense coming at him.
Well,
and of course, Aaron Donald too.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think kind of the opposite. I think Jared Goff is like, hey, I'm gonna get revenge. The way they did me when I left out of there. Did you see where Sean McVay kind of said, man, I could have did this a little bit different?
Yeah.
And he should have. He should have came out and kind of apologized because it was wrong.
It's nice to say that after Goff looks good the last 2 years. Too.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
he wouldn't have said that if Goff was playing like garbage, like the past.
Right. Yeah. I'm Goff. I'm like, man, screw you. I don't care.
Yeah. Now you say that, huh?
Yeah. Now you say it.
Like
right.
Good the last 2 years for you to regret the way treat me like shit.
Yes. I guarantee Goff is sitting there thinking like, man, this is the perfect time to exact my revenge. So yeah, Detroit.
I'm going Rams. I think McVay has a coaching edge. Stafford, I know Goff's got a little revenge in him, but Stafford in his own right could want to go back to Detroit and show him up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can get yourself up for games like that. It's not like, he doesn't have anything to play for in that area. He doesn't want to, say, oh, our guy's better than yours anyway, Stafford. I'm glad you left. So you might want to go there and show him up. But I just think I think coaching matters a lot. And this is a step up for the Lions, right? I mean, yeah. I know. Would you call this a failure of a season if they lose this game?
No.
Well, for the Lions?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
It's a disappointing way to end, but I don't think it's a failure, right? So it's not like I don't think they're the more desperate team. And Stafford, who knows how many more years he's going to have, right? So like he's got to really take advantage of any time he has left. And I feel like they're clicking really a lot right now. They have good momentum with the way they're playing. But yeah, their defense is pretty rough, man. That's going to be a really high scoring game, I think.
Yeah, of all the teams, it would be disappointing. Of all the teams that you had to play, I think the Rams would be the one that I would be disappointed to lose if I'm Detroit. Really, I just think as far as like what I see them defensively, they should score points on these guys. So you got they got weapons all over the place. Only one he had to stop is Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
you stop him from getting in, they should slice his defense up. They should slice him up.
Detroit has a good O-line.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. So
Not having Laporta is going to hurt, though.
Huh?
Not having Laporta this week's going to hurt.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
I mean, him playing as long as he did last week. I mean, even if they won that, they did. But even winning that game, it wasn't even a long. I mean, they still had to hope for either Dallas or Philly to lose their games in order to get the number 2 spot. So I think it was kind of pointless to play Laporta and all the starters they did as long as they did last week.
Yeah. Who's his backup?
Who, Goff?
No,
Laporta.
I
want to say some
Brandon Pettigrew.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know if they're backup. I was a big Pettigrew fan. I thought he was going to be good in this league.
He had a lot of hype. I'm looking it up right now. It is, young guy, Brock Wright.
Oh, okay. See what Brock is going to do. Come on, Brock.
I don't know, man.
Let's get it, Brock. All right, then we got the last game of the weekend. I love how the NFL spread this to Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of football. The NFL just wants that. Well, and the Monday thing is like kind of ridiculous because like you can easily put 3 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday. Now you're giving one team less time to prepare. Philadelphia is traveling to Tampa to play the Buccaneers, obviously, and Tampa is a 3-point underdog at home. And obviously, Jalen Hurts dislocated middle finger in his throwing hand. Today was the first day he threw any passes this week. Today was the first day. And apparently, according to media, he didn't throw that many passes today at practice. So,
yeah. I mean,
interesting.
You know, Laporta's trying to play, right?
Is he?
He is?
He's trying to play.
Wow.
He's optimistic about playing this weekend.
Wow.
He returned to practice today.
What?
With a giant knee brace on, they said.
There you go. That's what I love it. That's what Dan Campbell brings. I'm telling you, that's what he brings. Y'all talking about coaching Sean McVay. Dan Campbell has got these guys playing at a high level. They want to play for this guy. They want to win for this man.
He went through the walkthrough yesterday and did testing on his knee. He said day by day it feels better. But
it's the same injury as the Kelsey injury, correct? The week 1 Kelsey injury? Because it was a hyperextension, right?
Yeah, I guess so. A sprain.
Yeah, sprain.
If you were advising him, JD, what would you tell him?
I mean, I know what that PCL is like, man. Hyperextension. You just gotta. If you get something out of him, right? Just even the consideration of him being out there on the field changes him up defensively. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a lot of it. Just putting it, like I said, that's mentally working in people's minds, right? This is the chess match right here.
Yep. So
if Laporta just catch you, a couple of balls for you, then so be it. And it also, dictated of how bad the sprain is, right? Hyperextension, and if it's something that they feel like, look, man, like don't chance it whatsoever, then they wouldn't do it, right? So I'm sure it's on him how he feels.
Yeah. So we got the Monday night game. We have Philly going to Tampa.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Philly's a 3-point favorite. Hurts only throwing a few passes this week with the dislocated middle finger in his throwing hand, and AJ Brown has not practiced at all this week. So that's pretty troublesome. And also, I mentioned McCarthy, Nick Sirianni, according to ESPN's Dan Graziano, Nick Sirianni could be on the go if they lose this round 1 game against Tampa.
That's unreal. That is unreal. I know, man. Arrogance. So all right. Obviously, I do not believe in Baker Mayfield. I think any game he plays in is up in the air with him without a doubt, right?
Come on.
Hey man, I'm telling you, that Joker. Hey, I'm always shocked. When I read like Tampa won, really? Like they did? They won? Like wow. And
if they were in any other division, they would have not been in the playoffs right now.
No. Gets me here, he walks around with his chest out too. I'm just like, you know what? Just stop. So
I mean, he would have been in contention in the AFC South, right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, South, man, what's going on?
No. But I do believe. I mean, I like Philly. I think AJ, him not practicing. Then also too, Hurts. I mean, he hardly knows how to throw the football, and it's just off him. Like, how is he feeling? And he could beat him with the legs, short passes, get a couple of deep passes. I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Shoot. So I have Philly winning this. I think those guys, man, you got too many vets on the team, man. It can make some things happen. You got a good pass rush. So yeah, I got Philly in this game.
I'm gonna go with the Monday night upset. Tampa Baker is gonna win this game.
Tampa Baker.
I think he's gonna win. It's gonna be ugly.
You say he. You keep saying he. You said it all day and all week. Like, Baker's got this. It's like
he's gonna put the team on his back this week. No, I think it's gonna be ugly.
It's like how bands have like so and so in the blank. It's like Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Like, that's what it is for you.
I do think his connection with Mike Evans, I think that's going to be the key to them. I think he's just going to pepper Mike Evans like he has been. Whenever they do win, whenever they are successful this year, it's been him just peppering Mike Evans with targets. If you go back to the first meeting of the season when they played each other early on in the season, they almost took a 10-0 lead on Philly. Mike Evans dropped a catch in the end zone, which they ended up settling for a field goal. In that game, and they ended up getting dominated the second half of that game. But it's a different Philly team. Tampa, if they win this game, it's gonna be an ugly game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout by any means. 3-point underdog here. I think that they win this game. I'm just not buying Philly as of right now. JD and I are always talking about kind of the momentum you want to bring into the playoffs, and they are doing the opposite. I mean, they're having players only meetings. AJ Brown's leading stuff online. Nick Sirianni just. I don't know the fact that their ESPN's even reporters even saying that the fact that they could lose that he could be fired if they lose on Monday, that's just added pressure that nobody wants to hear, and it's just I don't know. I think I'm just taking the Tampa Bay here. I'm biased. I like Baker, but I just think that with the stuff that Philly's dealing with right now, I think that's just a lot to travel to Tampa, a team that has a lot of guys who won a Super Bowl just a couple of years ago too. So you also have a Super Bowl pedigree with a lot of the guys, especially on defense. Levante David, Devin White, Winfield. They have a lot of guys on defense that can cause some trouble for the Phillies offense.
They both have names on defense that haven't performed this year. Let's be honest. I can play that same game with Philly. I can start rattling off Philly defenders that are great names with big contracts that didn't perform well this year.
Yeah.
And Baker's banged up too. So you talk about Hurts' finger. Baker is limping like Tyreek Hill after a 40-yard play, man. Every time he's limping off the field. And White was limping a lot too. He hardly even finished that game.
Yeah.
And he's been pretty big for their success this year. I'm going to go Philly. I just think, Bucks had a hard time against Carolina to get into the playoffs, to get in. Like an all or nothing game. And if not for DJ Chark fumbling into the end zone, that might have been a different outcome. That was a rough game, man.
Carolina's playing spoiler. You get an added boost for that.
Spoiler. Carolina's playing, to give Chicago a better pick. All right, that's what they were playing for.
Listen, I buy into the whole having the player only meetings. AJ scrubbing his whole account. These guys are real focused up, and I'm sure when they came in, look, this is what it is this season, okay? And we understand all the negativity that's going on. Sirianni's probably saying the same thing. You don't care anything about. I don't care anything about this. All I care about you guys. I'm not worried about my job right now, okay? All I'm worried about right now is y'all guys doing what y'all have to do so we could go ahead and just win, okay? And he's saying, to hell with this. Doesn't even matter. And I think this will be the thing that Philly comes back that they need. This is what they needed. Sometimes they need your butt kicked. Sometimes you need that reality to refocus. And because they have the leaders on the team to get it done, Kelsey and Hurts and those guys, I think they will. I think they will, man. They're gonna come out here, man, and like I said, I don't believe in Baker. I don't believe in that guy. So I know it's Baker and bust, but bust. That joke is right there, man. I don't trust that guy at all. I don't trust him at all.
I will say, will you gain a level of respect from him if he dominates on Monday?
If he dominates, yeah. If he dominates, sure.
What about win? Why you say dominate?
Well, if they let's say they win 9-0 like they did against Carolina, they obviously to gain respect from you, Teja. You still make fun of the fact they won that game 9-0 because if they win 9-0, JD's not going to give him respect.
I didn't dog it. I'm just saying it doesn't instill a lot of confidence in the game. That's all. I just don't. I don't. You know, I'm not going in this going, man. They're really coming in fast after that game. Like, I mean, come on. Like they crawled into the playoffs, and here's a big factor for me.
They did lose the week before. They were still the number 1 seed going into last week.
So they lost the week before, and then they barely beat one of the worst teams in the league.
But I will say though,
Worst team in the league, right?
That's the division rival though. I mean, it's just a little
rival or a division team.
Division team. I mean, it is a rivalry in their own respect. I mean, we don't care.
Here's why I'm also putting a high emphasis on this because we gave this to Houston earlier, or you and I did at least. This season is success, whether they win or lose this week. Bucs are not supposed to be in the playoffs. So this is a success for them. They celebrated this week because they got in, rightfully so.
Right.
Philly, this is bad. This is like a rock bottom of the season for them.
Yes.
So I just like betting on teams that are just more desperate. And Bucs aren't. I mean, yeah, it's easy for me to say. They're both playoff teams and it's do or die. Everyone's desperate. But we're talking about one coach getting fired. That says it all. One coach might get fired for losing this, while the other one's like probably top 5 contention of coach of the year for being here. That just shows you the big disparity between the two teams.
Apparently, he's one of the teams that he could be let go this offseason as well. Todd
Bowles?
Todd Bowles, yeah. Apparently, he's another one that could be let go as well. And the OC on that team could be promoted to the head coaching job. He's getting interviewed by a bunch of teams to be a head coach somewhere. Dave Canales, I think his name is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bull's a defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
And their defense sucked. So,
yeah,
that hurts.
I think their pass rush was pretty good. I think it was top 10 as far as sacks and pressures. But, I mean, yeah.
Hey, man. Look, I'm looking at the last few games. You know, they beat the Panthers 2018, Falcons 29-25, Packers 34-20.
That was an impressive game. The Packers game was impressive.
Yeah,
that's a good win.
12. Yeah, lost to the Saints 13-23, and barely beat Panthers 9-9. I don't know, man. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's regardless.
Yeah, if you're talking about second half of the season, Philly had one of the biggest collapses in the second half. So I also can't. I mean, that's why I'm not really going I'm not giving anyone the edge in that regard because they're both not playing well. They're both
right.
Philly's probably sputtering more than they are, but I just think they're more. They just have that desperation behind them. They need this.
They need it.
Bucs need this.
No,
Baker earned his contract. He's going to get money from them in some way or fashion. They feel good. They feel good about their season. It was a win for them. Tampa in general, they're pretty happy. They got a home playoff game. Are you kidding me? They're happy as hell, dude.
So is Baker? Is he the answer? Is he the answer?
I mean,
serious question. Is he the answer for the Bucs?
He's like if you went to like a barbecue place and you were dying for barbecue.
Yeah.
And then you get to the front of the line. They're like, we only have brisket left. Do you want that? And you're like, I need to eat. So yeah, give that to me. And we're like, all right.
Yeah, I got to go for the beef tips. Okay.
I get a discount for that? I mean, no. Like, all right. Yeah, sure. I'll take that. I'm starving. That's the answer.
I will say the going into the season, I think they had two of their starting O linemen were out going into the season this year. So he was playing with a banged up offensive line. I am a Baker fan, and I wasn't expecting him actually. I wasn't expecting him to have that good of a season that he did have as far as his efficiency.
Yeah, that's why it's a win for them, though. That's why it's a successful season.
No, but to answer JD's question about is he the answer? I don't know if he's the answer as far as I think he's the answer as as what Alex Smith was an answer for us. He was a quarterback to kind of get you to a certain spot. I don't think he's a Super Bowl. I don't think he's a Pro Bowler. I don't think he's a Super Bowl winner. But I think he's a quarterback to keep you in contention every year, which I think a lot of teams, I think if the Raiders had Baker this year, I think they probably would have been in the playoffs this year.
So top 32 quarterback then. He's in the top.
I'd say top 16.
Yeah.
Whoa, 16? Okay. I had to go through him. I had to go through him.
Counting.
Yeah, I know.
JD, Derek Carr or Baker?
Okay.
Derek Carr.
Really? By
like Derek Carr.
Is it close?
It's close now from what I've seen Derek Carr this past year.
Yeah.
When he came from Oakland, I thought Derek Carr was a good quarterback. I really did.
Who had more playoff wins before this, though?
Who had more?
Yeah, who has more in their career, period?
That's a good question.
Baker's got that one.
By default, Baker does because
right, yeah.
because that's cars.
Right.
So I mean, I got to give him that. He had that, and Cleveland was a loser for a long time.
Yeah, bad teams, but he had guys around him. He started getting the defense. They started putting some guys. When you start having first round picks, you should start doing some
True.
things, right?
Carr had talent around him too, though. Carr had talented teams. For a while, Carr had the best O-line in the business. And he had Crabtree and Cooper for 3 or 4 years. That's a pretty good 1 and 2. And then he had Waller. And then he had Devontae Adams. So Carr's.
So Gruden didn't really believe in Cooper. Okay. Carr, he didn't really like Carr either. I think as far as like the things that they were trying to do didn't really fit with Carr. I think, man, he got a bad deal when he was in Oakland. I think he did. This one right here, when he's in New Orleans and the way he's playing, is kind of a head scratcher to me. Seriously, this season was really kind of,
He looked like a quarterback who didn't really have confidence. I mean, there's so many times we're watching third and 8. He's rolling out right, just throwing it out of bounds. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, what the hell?
He has some bonehead plays, man. He has plays that he's too old to be making at this point.
Right.
Like that. Come on, man. What are you doing? Do you think Carr would have had a better record than Baker did for Tampa? I think they would have been exactly.
I don't know. I think New Orleans has more weapons than Tampa does.
I didn't see Shaheed being who he was. Okay, and then he was without what's the name for the first 6 games of the season as well. Kamara.
Yeah, the first 3 games.
Was it 3? Okay, 3 games. But then like you thought what's the name was going to come back and do a little something. Michael.
Thomas.
And so I don't know. I just look.
So let me say this. Let me ask you this though, right? Because he's probably gonna take a discount, Baker, just because he's comfortable there and it's easy, right?
Yeah.
So you want Carr, but would you take Carr for $40 million or Baker for $25 million?
Oh.
Is he 10 to 15 more million dollars better than him?
First off, I don't think Carr's worth 40. I don't think Carr's worth 40.
No, he's definitely not worth 40.
Yeah. So I had to restructure Carr. Okay, so he's not getting the 40. Okay. Let's talk about that first. Yeah, But
the dead cap is on Carr if they try to get rid of him? $52 million.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So he's in there like swim.
He's in there, man. He's in there.
His cap hits 35, 45, and then they have a get out after 25. After 2025.
Look, and don't get me wrong. Times I do root for Baker. Times I do. Okay. But you can't win 9-0 and then throw the number 1 sign up while you run it off the field. Like what the hell? What the hell?
Hey man, winning's a win.
Hey, this is a guy.
Hold on, but you're not holding up number 1 if we beat Miami 9-0.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, well, no. Put that finger down. Put it down. Put the finger down. 9-0. Put the finger down.
Only Butker's allowed to do that, huh?
Huh?
Butker can do that.
Yeah, Butker could do that, right?
Could do that. That's it.
Patrick and those things, they're not okay with 9-0. Okay, you
No,
take
they're
the
not
win.
okay with it.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield's run out like Joe Namath.
I remember it was a Thursday night game where Tampa was playing Buffalo, and you called me like, dude, I'm trying to root for your boy tonight, but he's not doing it for me.
Killing me. Killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
That was good. That was good. Yeah, in the offseason, JD and I were going to try to implement more all-around NFL talk, so this is kind of a little taste of what you're going to get in the offseason.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night, obviously, we'll be back on for our post-game show right here on our YouTube channel. So right after the game, just come on and join with us. We'll be talking, hopefully, cracking up some champagne, getting cigars out to go to the next round, divisional round cigars.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. No doubt.
Yeah, some Cubans, yeah. They had some Cubans while we watching the illegal pirated stream. A little bit of both. So tomorrow night on our channel, then Monday, we'll be back on Bleacher Report. We'll let you guys know the time for that tomorrow night. But guys, so hope you guys enjoyed our betting show. Hopefully everyone makes some money on this one. And maybe you guys copy some of our wild card picks for the weekend. Maybe someone wants to tag along with Baker with me on Monday night. Who knows? All right, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a good one.
All right, guys. I love you. Later.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any